Hello and welcome to Crackin' Crime. I'm your host, Jamie Tilson.
Co-host, his nephew, Seth.
This is Seth Tilson.
You hate it when I do that, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Do the fucking intro right. You're embarrassing me.
We'd like to thank everybody for coming to the podcast today, checking it out. I'd like to thank everybody for listening to everything that we put out so far. We've been getting some pretty decent reviews. We've been getting quite a few listens. It's been great. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. I mean, it could always be better. We're trying to improve it right now,
A
right?
lot better. Maybe you could tell your friends or put a little more effort into it. We are.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't you guys, if you guys are listening it, you guys are liking it, check us out over at Facebook. Like the post that we're putting out there and then share it. Again, comment it, rate it. All of that fun stuff.
Yeah, preferably good rating.
Oh yeah, absolutely we prefer a good rating. Good reviews.
They do say no publicity is bad publicity, though.
No, exactly.
Yeah, so if you want to give us a 1, you want to be a dick, that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
We'll take a 1. Yeah. I don't want any 1s.
For an explanation with it, you know.
Right, well, if they're giving us explanations, that'd be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It helps drive the algorithms. If you guys are listening to us on, say, Apple Podcasts, or if you're over on Spotify, and again, it helps drive the algorithms. We don't really know how, why, but it pushes up our show and it lets more people see the show. The more reviews we have, the more stars we have, all of that stuff. So go make sure that you're hitting that 5-star like button. Again, leave us some comments. Give us some feedback. We're always open for that. If you guys got stories that you want to hear, shoot us some messages. Let us know.
We love suggestions, that's for sure.
Absolutely. We're trying all kinds of different things right now. We did the rip from the headlines. We did stories. We're trying to see what people think is funner. Like, what are you having more fun with us telling? Just looking stuff up on the fly? Doing small stories and just more joking and laughing? Or do you guys want to hear some more, like, long stories? And so whatever you guys want to hear, let us know. That's what we're here for. That's what we're trying to do. So we're going to go into a disclaimer. So the stories we're telling, they're all real. They're all factual stories. Everything that we're looking up, we're finding other places. We didn't commit any of these crimes. We didn't do it, right?
No, I've done some before, just not these particular ones. I will not talk about the ones I've done.
Well, maybe we'll do that.
Per my lawyer's request.
So we are making jokes. We are telling, jokes and laughing quite a little bit. That's what we like. That's how we like stories to be told. So our goal is just to tell the stories the way that they happen so everybody understands what happened. We are doing the research. We're staying up late doing different stories, looking up different stuff, trying to find good stories we want to bring you guys. And stuff that people haven't done podcasts for, which is crazy hard to find. Very hard to find. So we're probably going to be doing some that other people have done. We hope you guys like ours better, but you never know. So, but again, they are jokes. We're just messing around. We're just having a good time. We are doing this for entertainment purposes. So we hope that you guys are enjoying the way that we're telling the stories. Hope that you guys are enjoying the podcast. But again, we're not trying to make fun of the families or the victims or anybody that was involved because we don't know them. And that's not the goal of it. But
not at all.
We are going to be joking and having a good time because that's how we tell a story.
It's kind of the way I grew up. Is something bad would happen to the family. I mean, you try to find the humor in it somewhat, because we're still here. Life's still moving on.
Absolutely.
That's why we also try not to tell stories that have, like, death in them or anything like that. Preferably.
Right. And that's how I tell stories too. We've always brought, comedy into every bad situation that's happening, if it's going on. If you find a way to laugh about it, that's the best way to handle all these scenarios.
Yeah, like
right?
if your car was to get stolen, it'd be messed up, but God, you'd be able to walk a lot more and cut that weight you're looking to lose. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah. So you find the humor in it.
Man,
Gosh,
you find
my
the
car's
positive
gone
side
and
on
I
it.
don't have any milk in the house, but I'm going to walk and get that milk. I'm going to burn a lot of calories on the way.
You grab a Snickers while you're up there at the store, and then you eat that on the way back.
That's besides the point.
But But again, that's how we tell stories, and that's the whole point of our podcast is that we like to have fun, and that's all we're doing is having fun. So we hope everybody else that's listening to us is having fun with us. And with that, we're going to start telling a story.
Yeah, I think we should.
So, this week, we don't really have any real specific story. We're kind of doing kind of like where we did our rip from the headlines. We're kind of doing the same thing. We're calling this one Freestyle. Okay? So, with Freestyle, what we're thinking is making it kind of like a state-specific thing. So, we're going to tell stories from one specific state, and we're just kind of look stuff up, and we're going to talk about it right here, kind of on the fly. Yeah. So I have looked at a couple stories, but briefly. Right. So we're going to see how this goes.
I'm looking forward to the day we pick Arkansas, to be honest with you. I've heard a lot of crazy stories from Arkansas.
Really?
Yeah. Nice people. Weird place.
Weird place. Yes, I don't know anybody from Arkansas.
My mother was born there.
Really? So I know one that was from there and definitely comical. Yes, I've had a lot of fun with your mother.
Apparently my grandfather was, well, my grandma was 9 months pregnant, and they were just driving through Arkansas. And grandma went into labor about 2 hours outside of Texas on their way back to Texas. And my grandpa loves Texas, so he's like, you know what, you're going to hold it in. And he was flooring it, and then finally it just didn't work.
It does explain a lot, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. From Arkansas. Kansas. Arkansas? I can't even say it.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway. Oh, let's get started. This week I'm thinking we're going to talk about Nevada.
I like Nevada. I lived there before.
I've been there a few times. What's that?
My sister was born in Vegas.
Your sister was born in Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, your niece?
Yeah, my niece. Yeah.
I'm going to tell her to listen to this episode.
Oh, good. I hope that she does. We love you.
We do love you.
I do really like Vegas.
I haven't been since I've been an adult, but I do remember some stuff.
Oh,
Driving around looking at like the canyon type things and things like that.
Oh, man. You got Las Vegas out there. You got
Reno,
Nevada. You got a bunch of stuff here. You got the Hoover Dam is amazing. I love going to the Hoover Dam. If you've never been there, check that out because that is just awesome.
I checked it out in Vegas Vacation.
Oh, in Vegas Vacation?
Yeah, the movie.
The movie? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a really good movie, too. They make a bunch of movies about all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to find my... Oh, there's my tab. All right. No, I was just out there. What was it? I can't remember. Within the last 6-8 months, I was out there in Vegas. Yeah. We stayed at Harrah's.
About the same time I went to Indiana, you guys went out there.
Yeah.
A couple weeks after.
Right. Yep. I was out there we went to Harrah's, and then, man, Fremont Street is crazy. They got the screen over like 3-4 blocks out there, and then it just makes all kinds of stuff. And it's more local people that are down there, and Fremont Street's a lot of fun.
I'd like to go back in time and go down there when the mafia ran it, you know?
Well, I tell you what, you could check out some of the mafia stuff at the Mob Museum.
Is there really a mob museum?
There's a mob museum right next to Fremont Street. I've been there. It's pretty neat. It's at the old what was it? It's not the courthouse. I think maybe it was the old post office, and now it's a museum, and it's pretty neat. Yeah, I got a sweater from that.
Check that out.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely go there with you. You got Lake Tahoe in Nevada. You got the California side, and you got the Nevada side. Lake Tahoe is beautiful, man. I remember it from when I was a kid. I have not been there as an adult. Would love to go there. You got Death Valley. Yeah, you got, it says the Cowboy Corridor, 400 miles on I-80. Let's see. The Extraterrestrial Highway, 100 plus miles. It's a loop
Area
from
51,
Vegas.
I presume.
What's that?
Area 51, I presume.
Yeah, that's just outside of Las Vegas. Yeah, we went out around there sometime when I was a kid. I remember I was with my parents, and you got somewhat close to Area 51, and oh my God, it was like I think, if I remember right, there was like an army vehicle pulled up and said, "You're getting too close. You need to turn around and leave."
Wow.
Oh, yeah. They do not mess around out there whatsoever.
What the heck is going on there? I want to know.
Well, maybe we could do an episode about that. Yeah, because a lot of weird stuff happens out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was just listening to another podcast, which is a very good podcast, but they were talking about extraterrestrials and stuff like that. So they were talking little Area 51, and then they were talking about the Roswell crash. That was in New Mexico. And basically, right after the Roswell crash is kind of when technology boom kind of went crazy. So there's some people who believe that, after that happened, we kind of found this new technology, and then we've been able to utilize it. And
I don't even know what the Roswell crash is.
See, this is the whole reason for the podcast.
Yeah.
The whole reason. Every time I ever bring something up to Seth, he doesn't have a clue what I'm talking about. He's like, "Oh, what?"
Let's just talk. Let's start. I chose to party growing up instead of studying. So I might have been told. Someone's probably told it to me, but I partied that memory away. Those brain cells have burned away like Thanos when he flipped his freaking, snapped his fingers. It went poof, gone. I don't remember any of it. It's perfect for this podcast. I don't remember the first podcast we did. I don't remember the story you told me.
Well,
we might have to do it again.
If I put on a fake mustache, is that going to help refresh your memory a little bit?
Yeah, that's right. The guy was weird. He was storing his mustache in the freaking safe box. Who does that? Throw the goddamn thing away and buy another one.
I know, but they were expensive back in the, what was it, 80s?
I guess.
Yeah. You're
very robbing banks. Who cares what's expensive? I almost rolled past that. Like, yeah, you're right. It's probably pricey.
You're right. It's probably pricey.
Yeah.
Well, if you remember correctly,
what a cheap ass. Here's $100,000 and a mustache. Well, if you it was $24.99.
If you remember from that episode, the one guy, his wife, she did all of the books for it. Remember, like they'd be at the hotels for a full weekend, and then like a month. Yeah, a couple places they were at a hotel for like a month. I think they turned in their receipts and everything. The wife was like, "You're spending a lot of money." Yeah, so they weren't allowed to buy too many fake mustaches. They had to hold on to some of that stuff.
Gotta keep on to them. Yeah, she's strict. That's what you do when you're doing illegal things constantly. Is you keep the receipts. Write a freaking journal admitting all of it and have it on you next to your unregistered gun.
Absolutely.
We found a gun, a mustache, and a list of everything he's done. In his pocket. I always carry these with me.
That's awesome.
I like to remember.
All right. It says there's plenty of legendary Nevadans. Mark Twain, Howard Hughes, Virgil and Wyatt Earp, Sarah Winnemucca, yeah, and others.
I don't care what anyone says. Kurt Russell was the best Wyatt Earp, and Tombstone was the best portrayal of him.
This is an ongoing argument between Seth and I, because when he was like 4, he watched Tombstone before the movie Wyatt Earp.
I just watched it a couple days ago, and it turned me on.
When was
the acting was so great. I was like,
No.
God damn it, Val Kilmer, you beautiful son of a bitch.
I will say,
the best Doc Holliday.
Val Kilmer, the whole movie's fantastic. I really like the movie Tombstone, but it's not as good of a story as the Wyatt Earp movie with Kevin Costner.
That's what I think about that.
It isn't. You can say whatever you'd like to, but I just don't believe it. So, and I'm not going there with you.
I watched the first 10 minutes of Wyatt Earp, and I haven't seen anything else from it, because I'm like, you know what? No, it's not going to be as good. I realized in the first 10 minutes, I was like, fuck, what if he has a good argument here? Like, I want to keep pretending like I'm right, so I'm just not even going to watch it.
I know.
It's not worth it.
It is worth it.
Tombstone starts off so much better. Cowboys are there.
Tombstone starts off only in Tombstone. The movie Wyatt Earp starts off when he's a kid. And then it goes through everything.
The best part of his life was Tombstone with Doc Holliday.
It was not.
That was the best
he was
part.
already a famous lawman. He wasn't even in law enforcement when he went to Tombstone. You know that?
I don't care how he became famous. His brothers were there. He was trying to retire. They picked
He
on him,
became
and they kicked some
famous
butt.
as a lawman, started in Wichita, because he went into a saloon and he drug a guy out of the saloon, and then he was no nonsense and he became a famous lawman in Wichita. He had a huge famous standoff on a bridge coming into Wichita, and then he was known kind of countrywide, and then he goes down to Dodge City, Kansas, where he becomes the famous Wyatt Earp in Dodge City, Kansas. No nonsense down there. It's an amazing story.
I'd like to go to Dodge City now. I bet they got a museum there or something.
They
for him.
do have a museum down at Dodge City. We've been wanting to go there for a little while. It's not that far.
Well,
I've been to Tombstone. Tombstone is awesome.
Tombstone, Arizona, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, Tombstone, Arizona. So
they got stuff
were
there from that.
What's
that's
that?
the best. That's the best part of his life was in Tombstone. We just both agreed on that. So
It was not. Dodge
Yeah,
City,
but-
Kansas
no, it clearly was.
Wyatt
We
Earp and
agree.
Dodge City was like synonymous. That's where he became famous.
you're speaking Chinese to me at this point. Like Tombstone
In
was the
Tombstone,
best movie ever.
in Tombstone, the only thing that was famous down there was Virgil was the sheriff down there, and then
His brother.
his Virgil, yeah, his older brother,
Mm-hmm.
and then he talks Wyatt into becoming a lawman, but Wyatt wasn't going to down there in Tombstone. He was done with it.
Was that in the Wyatt Earp movie?
It is in the Wyatt Earp movie.
I bet it's not portrayed as well as it is in the Tombstone movie.
Even in Tombstone, in the movie Tombstone, he's not working as a police officer.
I know every line from Tombstone.
Okay.
I can act every actor's.
Okay, well, in the
entire
movie
part.
Tombstone, when they're getting ready to go down to the OK Corral, and he's trying to talk Virgil out of going down there, then Virgil says,
For the shootout.
"Yeah," he says, "God damn it, Wyatt, I
So
gotta
they're
go
breaking
down
the
there."
law. Yeah.
Right.
So I don't care how big or how small it is. I don't care if it's a misdemeanor. They're breaking the law, and it's not going to happen in this town anymore.
Right,
And then Doc Holliday's like, I'm coming with you.
right. But in the middle of all of those talking, then Wyatt Earp says, "Well, you better swear me in."
Swear me in, yeah.
Because he wasn't
Yeah, I
a
know.
police officer
They all went there to
anymore.
have fun and make money and retire. But then it was
Right, he
all
wanted
the
to
stuff
make
was going
money a
on so
different
bad
way.
there, it made Virgil feel bad. So he became the sheriff there.
Right. And then they talk Wyatt back into being a deputy for him. Then the shootout, the OK Corral happens. And that made him famous worldwide as well. That was just another story in the major thing. In this whole story of Wyatt Earp, that is the quintessential. Everybody remembers the shootout, the OK Corral. But he was a famous lawman way before that ever took place. And then before that, he was married and he was going to be an attorney. Wanted to become a judge or something. And then he got married. His wife died. And then he went on a binger. And then stole a horse somewhere. And then was wanted. He was in jail. And then they were going to hang him for being a horse thief. So then he leaves. And nobody knows where he goes. And then all of a sudden he appears in Wichita, Kansas. But back in those days, if you committed a crime in, say, Kentucky, and then you go down to Tennessee, they can't come get you.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, no, it's not that way anymore whatsoever.
Yeah, no, definitely
not
not.
even a little bit.
But it would be funny.
But there
We
is
didn't
still
have
a
the
little
FBI
bit.
back then.
There still is a little bit.
The FBI started during the the Babyface Nelson days and all them, the bank robber days. That's when they really started the FBI, didn't it? Or was it a little bit
I
before
believe
that?
it
But that's when
was-
they started
Let's see.
giving
it was,
them permission to fly across states and do what you got to do. You got jurisdiction.
kind
I
of.
don't
We
know.
could actually. That might be a fun episode.
I think we should do that because we're definitely getting sidetracked on. We obviously want to talk about all this.
Right.
And
yeah.
when I die, on my tombstone, I want it to say Jamie was wrong. Tombstone is better. Strictly because of Doc Holliday.
Doc Holliday. I'll give you Doc Holliday. Doc Holliday was freaking awesome.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah, no, that was a
Daisy,
great.
if you do.
You know what? While we're talking about this real quick, did you know? I think it says it might say it in Tombstone movie, but did you know that in all the shootouts that Wyatt Earp was involved in, everybody else was shot. Wyatt Earp was never even grazed by a bullet.
Really?
All the people that he shot, all the people that shot at him, everything that happened, he was never shot, never even grazed by a bullet.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Lucky.
I think that adds to the legend of Wyatt Earp. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely amazing. I actually love the Wyatt Earp story. I thought about just doing one full episode, nothing about anything else other than just Wyatt Earp stuff.
do
And
that.
honestly, we probably should just continue with it right now. But we're not going to because we're doing Nevada.
This is a freestyle.
This is a freestyle. We're
Not
just doing
Nevada.
whatever we want.
Completely. Had nothing to do with this.
Nothing to do with this
at
whatsoever.
all.
And we don't need to jump into a story because we're not in a hurry to get there today. Now, if you don't like what we're doing today, let us know and we'll go back to real stories. Okay. It says 1927, Nevada installs its first neon at the Oasis restaurant in Las Vegas. The first of millions of buzzing signs to come, but setting Nevada on track to become the neon capital of the world. 1931, gaming is legal once more. Though gaming was first legalized in 1869, it was later banned in 1919 and legalized once more in 1931. The first casino, Pear O Dice Club,
Gosh, was
opens.
that, I don't mean to interrupt you, but was that about the... That sounds somewhat near the same years as the Prohibition.
No, the Prohibition was, in the 1900s is the Prohibition.
Thank you. That was so fast. I literally just texted your wife if she bring me a beer. She just walks in with it. That is awesome. You should treat her better.
Just sneaks in and sets it down all nicely. She's such a sweetheart. Love that.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
I literally just set the phone down
So
and the door creeps open.
during
There's a beer.
Prohibition, we're talking about.
She even opened it for me. I'm drinking at Nicole's request. She said it's funnier when I drink, apparently. So, I'd like to shout out Samantha Tilson. She's an angel.
No, I'd have to look up and see when the Prohibition era is, but I do believe it was in like the 20s or 30s.
Was it? Well,
Because they had cars, and that's when they were bootlegging, and they were taking, alcohol all over the place.
what's that movie, Lawless, with Tom Hardy?
Lawless is one of the
That's an
movies.
awesome movie.
That is an awesome movie.
That dude was a beast.
He was. Yeah. He's, is that Hardy? What's his, is it Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy, yep.
Yeah,
And then
he's a
Shia
good actor.
LaBeouf, for however you pronounce it.
What's that?
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh,
however
Shia
you
LaBeouf.
pronounce it. Shia LaBeouf, okay.
Shia
yeah.
LaBeouf.
A lot of party days back in my... I forgot a lot. This is why I don't know what years we're in. We're talking about her.
It says in 1935 and 1936, Lake Mead is finished. I don't know if I said that because I was...
No.
Lake Mead is finished. The mighty Hoover Dam is completed in 1936, creating hydroelectricity to power the Las Vegas Strip and most of the American Southwest. But dude, the Hoover Dam is amazing.
See, I'd like to go there.
Oh, if you make a trip to Vegas, you gotta take. It's like a 2-hour drive out to Hoover Dam. I mean, it's worth it. Even if you have to rent a car.
Is it really like what the heck? What's the actor's name in Vegas Vacation? The main star. I'm embarrassed. I can't remember it. But is there really
Chevy
water
Chase.
squirting out of the walls of it when you walk through it? Like when he was taking his gum out and trying to cover it. Is that true? Is there like actually
I
water
don't
coming
think
out of
so.
the walls?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
Well, that just ruined a piece of my
Right.
childhood.
I don't, but I can't say because I don't really remember that part. I remember when he was there, but
Chevy Chase was his name.
yeah, I said Chevy Chase.
You did?
You were talking still. I just kind of spit it out.
You
Chevy
shouldn't
Chase.
talk when people are talking.
But no, it's really fun. It's really fun to go there. They actually have some little museums right up there on top. You can stand over on the edge and look over, and it's
Yeah, I
dude,
bet.
it's impressive to say the least. Kind of too bad right now. I mean, I know that there's a lot of droughts everywhere right now, but like it's drying up. Lake Mead has not got much water in it right now, so hopefully they get some rain out there. And
Yeah, pray for that.
yeah, I can't remember if I think that's the Colorado River that runs right there. So yeah, they definitely need some water.
We
over
definitely
there.
need some rain out here too. Wow.
Yeah, I know our
What a
lakes
dry
are.
year.
Yeah, so definitely it helps everything, man.
Yep.
Let's see.
Corn makes whiskey.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
And it makes my baby frisky.
Let's see here. Mid-1950s, Rito becomes the divorce capital of the world. With already loose divorce laws passed the same time gaming was legalized, the biggest little city built lodging and entertainment only steps away from its courthouse, beckoning a type of tourist no state had ever seen. Reno's courthouse pillars soon transformed from white into shades of pink, orange, and red as newly empowered women got quickie divorces. Kissed the courthouse pillars, grateful for the speedy split, then ceremoniously tossed their wedding rings in the Truckee River.
Eh?
Yeah, must have been right next to the courthouse. So when they apparently kissed the pillars after their divorce is final, they get a quickie divorce, and then they would kiss the pillars of the building and then throw their wedding rings into the Truckee River, which must be right there nearby. Yeah. So that was in the mid-50s, it says.
Underwater metal detector.
No, there might be some diamond rings out there floating around in that Truckee River, not too far from the courthouse.
Gosh. Throw away money, why not?
Oh, it said, okay, here's National Historic Sites. Hoover Dam tore this massive modern marvel of the world, made from 3.25 million cubic yards of concrete, plus an additional 1.1 million cubic yards for the power plant and other facilities. Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's Hoover Dam.
Nice.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's really neat. All right, let's go on to some crime. I could sit here and do this for quite a while, but I think we've already been kind of out in left field for a little while.
Yeah. I gotta get back and watch Hocus Pocus 2, you know. So we gotta wrap this up. You guys start giving us a bunch of views and stuff. Maybe we'll hang out longer. Right now, we're putting the effort in, and you guys ain't.
That's right. That's why we definitely need 5 stars. Give us 5 stars and drive those algorithms.
Wait, what does por favor mean?
Por favor?
Yeah.
Like please?
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Okay. Oh, yeah. See, I was thinking donde está. For a long time, I was saying donde está, thinking I was saying please. And people were looking at me like right in front of you. What do you mean? This is where are you?
Oh, where are you?
Yeah, it means where are you? I'm like, hey, sir. Hola. Donde está? Just look at me like I'm weird, like shake their head like I gotta kick this guy's ass. Where are you going? Donde está? I think that's what it means.
Please help. Please help. No, you're not saying that at all.
Am I not saying it right?
You're not even close.
That's embarrassing.
It says, one of the most completing sources of contemporary horror is the phenomenon of serial killers.
Where is it? Sorry. Donde está is where is it?
Where is it?
That explains it. Same thing. That's why they were mad.
Same thing. Yeah. Where is it? Yeah.
All right. You say that again? Sorry, I had to look it up.
That's all right. That's all right. Okay, it says, one of the most compelling sources of horror is the phenomenon of serial killers. For true crime to horror fiction, as a nation, we obsess over these terrifying, fascinating figures. Blah, blah, blah. Talk about Halloween's Michael Myers, Anthony Hopkins' Unforgettable, Hannibal Lecter. But it says that Nevada has produced the most amount of serial killers.
Jeez.
Yeah, which is really crazy.
Where was Dahmer out of? That was Minnesota or something like that, wasn't it? 'Cause that's pretty popular right now.
Yeah,
I don't think I
can
watch that show. Everyone says it's how horrifying it is. And
yeah, I'm good.
yeah, I just don't want to watch it. It's too much evil for me.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't think I like a documentary about it or something like that. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
a whole series about somebody who's creepy. I feel like you're glorifying him at this point.
Yeah. Oh, they absolutely are. I don't know if I could watch it, and
they say they're not. They're saying they're showing just how messed up he really was.
He really was. I mean,
yeah,
cutting people up and eating them. I mean, golly.
It's Anthony Hopkins right there.
Oh yeah.
In that movie.
Yeah,
Hannibal.
but he never did it. Yeah. Like, I mean, when you watch the movie, I mean, he was like locked up in prison during that Silence of the Lambs. He was
never seen him. Just read it. I read
Oh,
the
just
back
read it?
of the VHS. Like, that's
Like,
enough
nope.
for me. I have seen this
Nope.
movie. If anyone asks, I'll recite the back of the movie.
Oh, and I was wrong. So I read down and scrolled down a little bit. It says Alaska's number one. Proportional to its population. Alaska is without a doubt the most popular state among serial killers.
Jeez.
With 15.65 serial killings per 1 million inhabitants. I'm not doing any of that math. But that was between 1900 and 2014, which more than half of those occurring between 1980 and 1990.
Jeez.
Yeah, but we're not talking about Alaska, so everybody can just disregard those statistics.
Yeah, we're on Nevada today.
That's right. So after Alaska, which you're not allowed to remember now, Nevada has the second highest rate of serial killings in the United States among its 12.19 per million inhabitants. There have been 98 serial murders since 1900, with 33 of those were committed in just the 80s.
Jeez.
It says Nevada has one of the highest violent crime rates in the country according to FBI statistics.
80s, was that past? Or that was right around the end of the Mafia, wasn't it? The 80s?
Yeah, 80s or 90s. Well, they did a lot of movies about him in
When
the
was
90s.
Robert De Niro down there?
Let's see. I think he
Who
was
he
in the
played?
90s. When he was
Sam
in Casino.
Rothstein, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
that was a great movie.
Any useless information from my childhood, I remember that.
That was made, I believe Casino was made in the 90s. That was a really good movie.
Great movie.
Yeah, dude. Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I just watched it the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting at home working on a laptop, watching Goodfellas, Casino.
Yeah,
Every time
those
I watch
are...
a movie, I get into it too. Like, Jacqueline comes home and I'm like, forget about it, eh? Like,
Forget about it. That's
did
what
you
my
know that
mom
clothes goes in the
museum...
dryer? I'm like, forget about it.
That's what my Mom Museum t-shirt says. Forget about it.
Oh, really?
It's awesome. That says Mom Museum of Vegas. Yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorites. It's awesome. It says many believe that the historic ties to organized crime contribute to the excessive levels of violent crime. The rise in Nevada as a gambling destination could explain the jump in serial killings in the 80s. Finally, the number of tourists, in many cases, desperate individuals down on their luck, create a pool of ideal victims for anyone looking to commit a nefarious act.
Yeah.
So, you were right. You were right there along the reasons
I wonder
why.
how many bodies are buried out in that desert.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, a ton.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I can't even imagine.
Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Then I was going to talk about a couple of odd Nevada laws. So I just have it just says odd Nevada laws. So let's see what we can find here. It says odd law number 4, because apparently I just skipped a couple. You can hang someone for shooting your dog. So in the 1800s, when Nevada was largely considered the Wild West, dogs were more than pets. I don't know what... They were used primarily for protecting herds, sheep, and cattle. And harming a dog led to the severest of punishments. So apparently, it's kind of like, horse robbery back in the 1800s.
I feel like we should go back to that, honestly. I mean... That's a man's best friend. I mean, well, if you shoot it because it's having an aneurysm or something like that, and it's better for the dog, I don't know. But just animal abuse, I feel like that's...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, animal abuse is...
Maybe not hang anyone. I don't think we should hang anyone for anything anymore, but...
Right. Well, we don't do hangings whatsoever. I don't even know when. We could probably do a little research quickly and find out when that was getting all pretty banned. But actually, you'd be surprised. A couple of the podcasts that I've listened to, they've said that all the way up into like some of the 1990s, maybe even some of the 2000s, that was still on the list that if you were on death row in certain states, not the hanging, but death by firing squad.
Yeah, the firing squad.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, whoa. And somebody selected that, but they haven't followed through with it. So we'll see if that... Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, they don't even really do it. They can't even get the drugs for it anymore from what I hear. So if you're sitting there, I don't think they can even... They don't even really make the medicines now to put people to sleep like that. So...
Jeez.
Oh, wow. Look at this. If you have a mustache, you can't even kiss a woman in Eureka.
What?
It says in the 1800s and the 1900s, various laws prohibited men's facial hair in the U.S., sometimes for religious reasons. In Eureka, this law is still on the book. I don't even.
I am facially hair challenged.
So
You know how
you need
mad
to
I
move
would
to
be?
Eureka. You're good.
It's too late. I'm 31. I just now got a mustache. You tell me if I moved there, they'd be like, well, you
Well,
can't kiss a girl. I'm like,
I mean-
it took me this long.
And then I gotta shave it off.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be all right. It wouldn't hurt you that bad. It said you can't hula hoop on Fremont Street. It said in 2010, the Las Vegas City Council deemed hula hooping in the area illegal, claiming it blocked pedestrian traffic and impacted surrounding businesses. Which I'll tell you another interesting thing. If you're walking up and down the strip in Las Vegas, you'll have people running up to you, guys dressed as like Spider-Man. You'll have girls dressed very skimpily, trying to get you to take pictures with them, but they'll just walk right up to you on the strip. So when you're walking up and down the actual main Las Vegas strip on Las Vegas Boulevard, they'll just walk right up to you. They'll start trying to get you to do stuff and blah, blah, blah. But on Fremont Street, they actually have a little circle painted on the ground. And if they're trying to solicit you to take pictures or do anything, they have to be inside that circle. They can't leave their little circles.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so if you're walking down and you got a guy that's over here dressed as Spider-Man and he's wanting you to take a picture, he's got to stand in a circle and he's got to be like, hey,
That's funny.
act like he's trying to like pull you in and stuff. And
Oh, jeez.
yeah, so it's
I'd walk over there with them and get ready for it, and then I'd take off running out of the circle. Just stop.
that's kind
Yeah, come over here. You can have it all you want. You just gotta walk over here.
stand in a circle right next to him, like, no.
That's funny.
Get over there. I'm stuck in my circle. Let's see what some of these other ones are, and then we'll move on to. You can't lie down on a sidewalk in Reno. There is no law against lying down in the middle of the street, though you probably don't want to do that either. So you can lie down in the street in Reno, but you're not allowed to lie on the sidewalk. Yeah, so if you get tired or if you get hurt, roll into some grass. Get off the sidewalk. You can't stay on
Or
the
have
sidewalks.
a seat. Have a seat. Just don't sprawl out.
It doesn't say anything about sitting
That's
down.
right, yeah.
So you might be good there.
Yep. I'll inform my court-appointed lawyer about that.
You can't pawn your dentures in Las Vegas.
What? I don't want to know. Never mind. Well, there was that many people that tried it that they had to make it a law.
I know
Or was it the
this
same
is a
guy?
real problem. These dentures. Oh man,
Imagine that pawn store owner.
I need
at the
money
courthouse,
so
like, this
bad.
is a problem.
You go to these pawn shops. It's like there's nothing but dentures in here. This is just
Too many.
This is too many.
We're overloaded.
Can you guys please do something about this?
Jeez.
Oh man. All right, let's check out something else. I got a couple of Wild West deals. I got a shooting at the Gem Saloon. Las Vegas in 1911. It was a town just barely saw its first automobile pass through. Though it was over a decade into the 20th century, Las Vegas was still, in almost every way, frontier settlement, embodying the spirit of the Old West. It says the dominant industry was the railroad. Central part of the economy was railroad. And then the red light district was established shortly after founding Vegas. Known to locals as Block 16, a strip of saloons featuring food, booze, gambling, and prostitution. Let's see here. The saloons along Block 16 were the Arizona Club, the Gem Saloon, the Red Onion. These places looked like scenes from the stereotypical version of an Old West drinking hole. Superficially fancy exteriors were the face of ruchous interior, where gambling, drinking, and whoring took place. Let's see. Who? So rowdy types were drawn into Block 16, and one such type was a guy named, I'm not even sure if it's a male. It just says Calorina Leon, who had a reputation around Las Vegas for stirring up trouble. On September 25th, 1911, the dry air was steadily losing the oppressive heat that lashes Vegas each summer. Tending bar in the afternoon at the Old Gem Saloon was Vady Washington, a former railroad worker, was born to emancipated slaves in Georgia shortly after the Civil War. Calorina continued to put back drink after drink as Vady took a break to eat some lunch. He says Calorina decided in his drunken state to help himself to some of what Vady was having. Words were had, and Calorina was escorted out of the saloon by another employee. Undeterred, Calorina made his way back in and then continued his belligerent antics and again promptly was shown to the door. Calorina stumbles through the swinging wood doors of the Gem Saloon to make his third attempt at gaining entry into the establishment. Vady was waiting behind the bar with his gun drawn. The belligerent patron made it a few steps back into the saloon before a shot was fired. Calorina hit the ground with blood pouring from a gunshot wound and died later that day. Vady was then taken into custody, and the ongoing trial became something of a spectacle. Ooh, wow. With a former judge leading Vady's defense team under the theory that the barkeep was acting in self-defense. As part of the 4-day-long trial, the jury toured the Gem Saloon, resulting in the slight of the city's most upstanding members gathered in the red light district, where polite company was not to be seen. After 10 hours of deliberations, the jury delivered their verdict: manslaughter. It appears this was a compromise decision, with several juries pushing for murder and others advocating for acquittal. The day after Valentine's Day, Vady appeared in court for his sentencing. New accounts indicate that Vady agreed he should do time, but remained steadfast in his shooting of Calorina was justified, or at least did not warrant any regrets on Vady's part. The judge expressed his desire to provide as lenient a sentence as possible, 2 years in Nevada State Prison. As for Calorina, his grave still stands at Woodlawn Cemetery near downtown Vegas with a simple inscription: killed in a fight at the Gem Saloon.
Well, all right then.
Yeah. So that was kind of an interesting little deal. And that was 1911. That's a very old Western type story. I mean, in 1911. That was kind of a little bit after the old West days, I thought. But there we go. Let's see. Deputy pulling a gun on a judge. Bunch of other little stuff. You doing okay over there? Why are you?
Yeah, my mic's moving and not wanting to stay still here. No matter where I move it, it slides behind me. Yep.
Well, you good now?
I hope.
Okay, you kind of got that figured out.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the death of the first lawman in Las Vegas. Let's see what let's save that one for another time. I think we're dragging this one out a little bit long, and we've just been kind of sidebar the whole time. So I think we're going to wrap this one up. What do you think?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah.
We really didn't get into much crime there, did we?
We didn't really do a whole lot of crime.
Bantering back and forth.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, we're calling this one Freestyle. And this one's where we were just kind of making stuff up on the fly, and we were just kind of random talking. So let us know if you guys enjoyed this one, or if you guys enjoy the storytelling a little bit more. We are planning on doing a regular episode with story next week, so I'll be researching that all week. I'll find out what story I'd like to do, and then we'll tell something. So we'll see what that plan is going to be. All right. So
I just took a picture of you while you were talking.
Fantastic.
Your mouth was wide open.
Oh,
Looks
I don't know.
extremely stupid. Handsome. But stupid.
well, we'll see if that one makes it anywhere that's worth anybody seeing it.
Yeah.
Probably
Next time we'll
not.
try to get some more crime in there. This was more just cracking.
Yeah, this was definitely a lot more cracking. Having a good time. So, tell a little bit of stories. We sidebarred it quite a bit in this one. That was kind of the intention, though.
Had some
like
fun doing it, though.
Yeah, I think I was having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what story we come up with for next week. Maybe we'll pop into a little bit of murder. I don't know yet. We'll find something. We'll find a story that we want to do. So with that, follow us on Facebook.
Sorry for cussing, Grandma.
Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. If you're wherever you're listening to your podcast, make sure that you're giving us 5 stars. Again, that helps the algorithms. We don't understand it, but it really helps us.
We're on Spotify too, aren't we? Spotify, YouTube.
We're on all of it.
All of it.
And we do have a Patreon. And we're going to add in, because we do have our first patron. Mm-hmm. And our first patron is from Texas, Mike Garcia.
Oh, yeah. Yeehaw. That's what
Yeehaw.
real cowboys are made.
That's right. Yeah, he is a real cowboy. Seth likes to think he's a real cowboy.
I
With
was
him,
born in Dallas, and I cowboyed for a year. So,
Right.
To me, I will always be a cowboy.
That's
and
right.
in the South, which means it means more to me. Yeah, I live in the North, and I spent half my life in the North. But I don't know, I'm hanging on to it.
Well, we'd like to give a huge shout out to Mike Garcia. He is definitely one of our family members. He's our crazy cousin Mike. Yeah, Sexy Mexi Garcia. Yeah, good friend of mine down in Texas. Yeah,
Sounds awesome.
I know.
Everything about him.
He wants to do an episode with us, so I'm trying to figure out how I can do a call in, and then we can have him on with us.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we can talk with him. He's crazy funny. So
Heck yeah.
yeah, so I'm trying to figure that one out, and
That'd
then
be awesome.
yeah. So, but as of right now, I can't make that happen. So, trying like heck to get there though.
Leave us a comment if you know how to do it. Let us know.
Right.
We're just a couple of small town guys that don't know
Right.
much about nothing.
I think we're doing pretty good, just getting as far as we have with figuring out how to record our voices onto a little computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about it.
I can't figure out how to keep my microphone straight, but we'll get it next week.
But
Tune
we're
in.
gonna have to call in people here.
Next week we tell stories about crime this time. And Seth's microphone stays still and you might be able to actually hear him. We don't know.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, thanks everybody again. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody that's been listening. It's just been awesome. We're having a good time with it. We're gonna keep going. Story time next week. So again, let us know what you guys thought of this one.
Suggestions are highly welcomed.
Highly
Any
welcome.
stories you got, anything you want to hear about, we'll break it down for you.
Absolutely.
Make you laugh while we tell you about it.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks again. We'll
Till
see you
next
guys
time.
next week. Bye.